it is about preparing for peace. There is so much preparation for the next battle, for war, and I think we also need to look beyond that.
The war in Ukraine has affected the European churches greatly. To respond to this war, the Conference of European Churches has established the initiative Pathways to Peace, to reflect on the situation in Ukraine and what does this initiative aim to establish in the region by working for peace, justice and reconciliation. I have CEC Vice-President Bishop Dagmar Winter with me. I would like to ask you, how does the war in Ukraine impact the European churches? What are the discourses that have been affected in the local churches by this war?
Well, a very obvious and tangible impact has, of course, been the large number of Ukrainian refugees. And the churches have really stepped up, especially in the surrounding countries, in Poland and in Romania, to welcome refugees, to make space, to make generous space for them. Theologically and linked, I guess, politically, it has certainly reignited discussions about what it means to speak of a just war against an aggressor.
Through Pathways to Peace, what is the role of CEC that you consider most important to bring peace, justice and reconciliation into the region?
I think it's about convening people, bringing them together, gathering them, about exchange, and it is about preparing for peace. There is so much preparation for the next battle, for war, and I think we also need to look beyond that to see how are we going to be able to live and survive the amount of hatred that is building up. One of the most memorable events of our General Assembly in Tallinn for me was when we brought together in a forum various leaders of the Ukrainian churches who reflected in finely nuanced different ways on the situation and on their response to the war. That is, I think that was helpful for them to also hear each other's voices, which they may not easily be able to do in Ukraine in that way. It was certainly helpful for us, and I hope they were encouraged by being able to do that.
How do you think the objectives of Pathways to Peace resonate with the European churches?
I think they resonate deeply. We've experienced how fragile peace can be even on European soil, and since we had our General Assembly in Tallinn earlier this year, we have more tragic, horrendous news of war, displaced people. Think of Nagorno-Karabakh. I also think, of course, of the war on Gaza at the moment.
Amid the human suffering through the wars that we are witnessing, as a Christian, where do you see some hope?
I see hope in the way some individual Christians are living their lives in the midst of conflict, witnessing to hope actively. Hope is not something passive, but it is something that we then fill with the reality, towards the reality that we see through God's eyes. I see it in the ecumenical vision of a just peace that we prepare for, in the way we come together and seek that peace beyond our own differences, realizing that the person with the different view is not going to go away. We need to work out ways of living together.
Thank you very much for your insights. It's with great interest that we follow Pathways to Peace and what it achieves in the coming days. To learn more, follow us on the social media.